So, what did you think about your list? What are the major things you change about it, or things you liked?
About my list, I thought it was a pretty fun to play list. If I had had any models I wanted, I would have had bigger units of big guns, and I also would have 2 hand weapons. I personally would have liked to play that. I don't know
It's
if
a
it's
lot of points.
it's true. It's a lot of points, but I feel like in 8th edition you have to have extra ranks in order to win combats because you rob your opponents of their steadfast, especially when you're playing against demons. Like I said, against demons, you could win by 10, and if you don't have extra ranks, they're going to be testing on lead 9, whereas otherwise they'd be testing on lead 2, and it's almost impossible to cut through their numbers without having more ranks in them. So.
Yeah, the way I've been playing demons competitively, although I didn't in the pilot episode, but when I've been playing competitive games and in the 8th edition tournament we've had, I've been playing very, very large demon armies. I've been playing very, very large units in my demon armies, and those huge units, just playing pure points denial, are doing really well for me. And I feel like the same extends into lizardmen or chaos, because they can field very large and very durable units that you're just not going to give up the VPs, and you're going to do enough points of damage to win the attrition war.
Yeah, I really, after playing Matt with his big units of horrors and big units of bloodletters, I feel like those infantry models are undercosted for what they do, and in 7th edition it wasn't that big of a deal because you only ran units of 25 at most, but in 8th edition you're running units of 40, and every model that you buy more, you're getting basically more bonus points that you should be paying, but you're not really paying because they're undercosted. So, I mean, that's the way I feel about it, and so it's really kind of amplifying the points difference between what they should be costed, in my opinion.
What do you think would be fair to have them cost?
I'm not sure, Matt. What do you think?
Because they're 12
I mean, you
now.
probably think they're fine
No,
now,
I
the
think
way
they're
they're.
fine.
Yes.
I don't think demons are a particularly overpowered book. I think it's too early in the edition to say what's overpowered and what's not. I've done well with my demons, and I've also done poorly with them. In the last game, I was tabled.
But to be fair, you weren't running a very competitive army in the last game, and Darren
True.
was.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well, it was a good game, Alex. I can't wait till we play our next one. Hopefully that'll be when your empire are completely painted. You have 1,000 points right now. You only have 1,000 to go, and that war altar is a good 400 points.
Maybe.
You paint one model, you get 400 points up. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
All right. Come back for the next edition of Battle Report, which will be in 1 week, and I'll be playing against Josh Sanders, playing Chaos Warriors against my Orcs. Or, if some sort of miracle strikes me, possibly he'll be playing against my Ogres. All right. See you then. Thank you very much. Bye.
Recordishing. You're the only person I know who texts drunk. And it sounds like you're speaking drunk.
I personally think, I've heard this on some podcasts, that GW made a huge mistake by being flanked by a unit that negates your rank, does not negate your steadfast.
I don't know. What's their motivation? Their motivation is to sell more models. The more models they sell, the more money they have. The more money they have, the better models they produce. Hopefully, that's what happens, because they've gotten better and better as their
There's really no
profits have gone up.
competition.
Yeah, their models are through
Fantastic.
the roof. They're awesome. Their books are getting better and better. If the game keeps getting better, hopefully they'll keep getting better. But
I agree.
we don't want them to cap out and end up like the Walmart of games. Obviously.
Yeah. Well, I agree, but and I think I really like 8th edition as kind of a fluff player point of view. I like it that you're able to take. There's a new sense of freedom in the armies and etc. Like you can take any army you want. Yeah, it's great. I mean, I could take in my Empire army, I could take really a range of different armies, but I think the not losing steadfast, especially when you're playing an army like against an army like demons with an army like orcs or goblins or empire, where you have to use units together to win combats, having them being steadfast.
That's huge with Empire, especially with the detachments and stuff.
Yeah, having them being steadfast really hurts you because you can be like, okay, I flank charge this unit of 40 horrors, and I win combat by 10, but they're leadership 9 because they're steadfast, and they lose nothing. So,
Well, I think this is GW's ploy to sell more infantry models. You know, whoever has the biggest unit has a better chance of running down their opponent because guess what? You're not steadfast. And other companies like Mantic are getting in on that stuff because they're selling specifically hordes, 50 guys at once. What this Orcs and Goblins army, it's not that I don't want it to have a bunch of hordes in it. It's that I just haven't painted up the models yet, and we're strictly using fully painted armies that are based coherently. So in future podcasts, we'll be bringing on some 50-man units of goblins for sure.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think everyone in the Warhammer community is just reeling for all the changes. You know, your 7th edition armies are no longer viable, really. So.
Yeah, which wouldn't be a big deal, except for you got to spend hours upon hours painting. I think every single army is going to bring a magic phase at least until the fun wears out of 8th edition. So right now it's very fun, and part of the fun of 8th edition, I think, is having a big fucking magic phase where you're bringing a level 2 or a level 4 that, you know, neither of us has brought Power Squirrels yet because I'm not excited that Power Squirrels exists, and honestly, I think they should be restricted or banned, or you have some sort of negative effect on your comp score. Any doubles you roll when you have a Power Scroll is automatically irresistible. Some of these spells...
Do they only work once?
They only work once, but some of these spells are completely game breaking.
Yeah.
If you get them off, especially irresistibly, that could be a game. Like you're playing 2,000 points.
For example, I could take an Empire Wizard, get Purple Son of Zerus, put him out by himself, and be like, okay, first turn, large template, Purple Sun, autocast. I mean, I take a strength and hit or whatever, but your entire army takes an initiative test or dies. Pretty much, I mean.
The entire army?
No, not the entire army. A lot of mobs.
Yeah, it would be, you know, if it's a horde army, it would be this, 5-inch diameter template moving around.
Oh, wow.
Or, since there's so many horde units, you can cast the Dweller spell on a unit of 50 guys and net yourself 25 casualties. It's pretty huge. Yeah. Also, you can combine it with taking your wizard, putting him on a horse, charging him first turn, then using your miscast as part of the offense.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Get it strength.
Blow up.
The miscast you blow up, use a template on a lot of the results.
And especially with let's say Warriors of Chaos, you can basically pick what result you get. So you get the Strength 10 template.
Warriors of Chaos is huge, but your casters are expensive. But
it's
yeah,
true,
it's very it's viable.